This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
What's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster, and welcome to Viewers Anonymous, man. How we feeling, man? We good?
Man, I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. Finally got a laptop, so you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't got to hear me crying about my equipment no more. So you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make things work, man. About to get back to doing some of the usual stuff that I usually do. I might end up doing my live streams again now, so you know I can still record and take phone calls and everything now, and then you know using StreamYard is gonna be 1,000 times easier to do that. So you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fun, man. These next few months gonna be some real fun. Isolated Society, you know what I'm saying, might get revamped and brought back on some weekend type shit.
That's what's up, man. I'll be looking forward to that, man. Cause you had some shit going, man. It used to be. I mean, it's just the fact that, you know, I like to see you cooking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, especially on some of the shit that you was on with Isolated Society. You know, we was able to revamp some of that with the Stolen Time that we did the other day.
Man, that was amazing.
So it's good to hear you on your sports shit because, yeah, man, that turned out to be a really great episode, man. And I mean, I know it ain't no thing, but you know, I still gotta say it. Like, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate you coming on and you know filling in. Bro. It's been a lot of people filling in lately.
Yeah,
man. So big ups to everybody that has jumped on the podcast because I think like the last 5 episodes, you know what I'm saying, I've had a different guest. So I appreciate all of y'all that came on and helped the boy out, man. I got to go see man this weekend or sometime this weekend. Go holler at him. See how he doing, see how he feeling, all that type stuff. Oh, well, I haven't talked to him since last weekend.
Okay.
I talked to him. Well, actually, I talked to his wife because I called because I was at the beach last weekend.
Right.
And so I called his wife because I know he still can't, you know, at this time, you know, really like speak on the phone and things like that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go check on him, man. See how he doing, man. So.
Okay.
You know, I finally broke down. I can't remember if I told you, man. I finally broke down, man, and set up an appointment with the DMV, man. I gotta get my tag, man.
Oh yeah. You told me about that, bro.
Hey, fact, I've been trying to walk.
You was telling me when I was telling you about what I had going on. When I was like, man, I think I'm gonna be back, man. I think I'm gonna be back on the streets in a minute.
Yeah, man, it's like, dude, like with the COVID stuff, you got to have an appointment, or you know they'll take walk-ins sometimes, but then it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hit or miss. Like the last time I tried, well, the second to last time, it was like, yo, it's gonna be 2 hours, and I was like, well, they closed at 5, and it was like 4:30, and then the other time I went, it was like 4 o'clock, and they said they wasn't taking walk-ins at all. So it's just like, man, let me just go on here. You know what I'm saying? Try to get the appointment and go in and get my shit, man. Cause I need my tag. I hate riding with a paper tag, man. I do, man. Like,
trust me, I know the feeling, bro. When you be, you know what I'm saying, irritated and ready to get your shit solidified and out the way. It eases so much stress when you don't have to worry about none of that shit, bro. It really does. It eases a lot of stress when you don't have to worry about that shit.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So going in, man, Wednesday, and I'm gonna be good, man. I'm gonna be good. But yo, listen, I'm coming straight out the gate, my guy. Straight out the gate. I should have stuck with my guns. You know what I'm saying? I should have, man. Something told me. Something was like, son, man, just back yourself up, man. Like, don't fold to the pressure. Right. I folded to the pressure and I backed off a little bit. And I should have just stayed there I told y'all Alton was the weakest link in the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what? That's too deep, man. That's too deep. We ain't gonna go there yet. Hey, that's the what they call that shit in the radio? What they call that shit in the radio when they teaser? That's a teaser, man. We gonna get into that.
Listen, you called it though. That's the funny part. Like when you had said it, I didn't want to believe it because I'm like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they kept harping on him being a black, you know what I'm saying, the ex-Black Panther. I'm like, nah, man. He ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that. But she got to him, man. That bitch got to him. I can't stand her, man. I'm telling you, every episode I see her, bro. I just, you know how you see some shit and the first thing you do is, god damn. That's how I do every time I see her on screen, man. I can't stand it.
Damn, Irene, man. But you know what, man? That's a teaser. We gonna get into it, man. But listen, Jerome, I want to get into Jerome, man.
Okay.
Jerome. So I was wrong on the one thing that I thought that we was gonna see trauma out of Jerome from, killing that one dude when he shot the dude in the head.
Okay.
That ain't what happened. Jerome has gotten to a point where he's really just fed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that the extra things that he's been having to go through, like ever since they started, selling the rock, and when he was just selling weed, things was cool. And I think that Jerome has gotten to a point where, especially since Louis told him about Reed, he's giving her attitude. You know what I'm saying? Every scene, like he don't even want to be around her. You know what I'm saying? Like the wildest part was when they was at Alton's when they was celebrating his sobriety.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hey, she said, yeah, Mom wouldn't have liked you, and Jerome was like, yeah, Mom would have put a gun on you, and then Louis said, I don't want to know what she thought about me. He was like, you don't. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was.
I
different.
was like, damn.
That was different.
That was different.
Was like,
and Franklin.
Yeah, he caught on.
And Franklin caught that shit, so he jumped on real quick and tried to change the subject. Yeah. And it's just that to see Jerome there, and to see Jerome, when they was talking about, well, okay, I get to the hit, but Leon walking through the hood, you know what I'm saying, with the new guy with the curls, and he's like, yo, fatback cousin, been looking for you. So he steps to him, and he's like, yo, I'm trying to do business. He was like, how much I gotta pay you? And he's like, nah, fuck that. Fatback looked out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do business with you. You know what I'm saying? He pulls off the shirt. He ready to strap, take the gun out of his back. He ready to fight.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
Oh yeah. And Leon is like, he backed out that situation. And him and dude was talking about how it ain't that many dudes that are still like that. And I was seeing on social media where people were saying that Leon like punked out, and I was like, y'all didn't get it.
He actually used his head for once, punk
out. Thank you. God damn. It's like, cause it's that group. It's that group that I added you in. Like I be seeing some of the shit that people be saying. And it's just like, y'all don't get it. Like he actually, because it's like they don't get it. And like, dude, you said it perfectly. Leon used his head. Finally, he wasn't impulsive, which he usually is.
Well, with Jerome, I don't know if you was wrong necessarily, right? Like, when you watch it, I don't think that the gunshot was the start of the trauma. I think it kind of released that trauma. Like, you got to realize, like, this is a, and I don't necessarily mean you when I say you got to realize, but I'm just saying, like, the people that's watching, like, you got to realize, like, this is a real hectic thing to be in. Like, drug dealing is not like some lavish life that they make it seem like on TV. Drug dealing is the end of Scarface for real. Like, niggas is at your neck. If you making too much money, people gonna come after you. And if you getting it like you're supposed to be getting it, then you gonna make a lot more enemies than you gonna make friends. And the way Jerome has been acting recently, I think that the gunshot, on top of finding out that, you know, that they in the CIA's pocket, on top of, you know, dealing with everything else that they've been dealing with, and then on top of seeing Fatback get killed. And then remember when he was walking through the bottoms that night when Manboy and them ran through, and he was just seeing all of these people, you know what I'm saying, shot up and dead. I think like all of this is finally coming to, you know what I'm saying, like it's all collapsing on him. And then now he feel like he can't even trust his girl. He can't even trust his nephew. He can't trust his sister. You know what I'm saying? We already know can't nobody trust Alton. So we starting to see all of this, you know what I'm saying, coming together, and now he kind of lashing out in a weird way. So when, you know what I'm saying, like when she said, you know, I don't want to know what your mama would have thought of me, and the way he responded, or even, you know what I'm saying, the way he looked at her when they was at the, you know what I'm saying, when they found Fatback dead at the club. Like, you know what I'm saying, the way he walked out, the way he responded to Franklin, when Franklin was like, "You good, Unc?" He like, "Yeah," you know, he just shrugged it off and then kept walking. So, you know what I'm saying, you starting to see I don't necessarily want to say he breaking, but you just starting to see it weighing heavy on him for right now. Let's just say it's weighing heavy on him. As far as Leon goes, you know what I'm saying, you 100% right, bro. He finally using his head for once. He finally seeing the way Franklin's seeing it. Like, yo, it's cool to, you know what I'm saying, to run up, shoot him up, bow, bow, bang, bang, or whatever, Wild, Wild West. But at the same time, you get a lot more done with honey than you do with shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you catch a lot of more flies with honey than you do with shit. It's cool to go ahead and be smart. It's cool to go ahead and think about the moves you make before you make them. I thought it was a great way. I thought it was a great thing that he did when he spoke to Jerome about the shit. He went to Jerome about the shit and was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying, I got an OG on my block. You know what I'm saying, I think, you know what I'm saying, I need your help." And brought Jerome into it. That was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't need to be handled with the fist, because first off, he knew he wasn't going to beat that nigga ass. That nigga said 4 plates. And he showed it before they even got to that scene. That nigga he crunched up and just started lifting. I'm like, yo, this nigga is diesel. So I'm like, Leon is going to get washed if he get out there. They ain't going to need no new washer. They just going to put Leon in the spot. It's going to be all bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was good to see him. It was good to see him really thinking for a change, man. I like his character. I think his character's development is starting to show right now. The things that he's doing in this show, the things he's done in this show, you know what I'm saying, it's really showing his growth. And I think this is where, you know, he really taking it to that, you know what I'm saying, to that point to where he might end up, you know what I'm saying, being back on some good shit with him and Franklin, and they take this motherfucker over again.
Yeah, and see, you was getting to where I was going, and like to go to Jerome, and then like, and that was another scene with Jerome and Louis, because like when Leon walked in, she was like, "Franklin ain't working tonight." He was like, "I ain't here for Franklin. I'm here for Jerome." He was like, "Yo," he said, you know, what you just said. And so he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "They had my back when I first moved here."
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, he was like, "I go with you," because he told him like, "Look, dude, they looking for you to fill that role of Fatback." And so he was like, "You got to step up to the plate and fill that role." And so he was like, "I help you." And she was like, "I don't think that's a good idea with a bounty on our back." And he was like, "Shit, it was a dead body at the front door." He said, "It ain't no safer here than it is there." You know what I'm saying? And then like she just like completely shut her up and said he was like, "Yo," she said, "I don't think you should be, you know, in the projects all day." And then, you know, he was just like, you know, told her what he told her. So it's like, and to watch how he stepped up to my man, and he already knew some stuff about him and knew that he you know, was big into weightlifting and stuff like that. So he talked to him like OGs talk to each other.
Right.
You know, and And so then they had their little deal. But I also think that within doing that, you know, like my man told Fatback Cousin told him, anything happen to one of my guys, something gonna happen to you. And it's just like, yo, you can't project how the street shit is gonna go. Yeah. So that right there, I think that's concerning for Jerome with that, you know, with that happening. So they end up having to take the smart dude, and he ended up working out for him. Hey, you know what I'm saying? When the one like damn, what's her name? What is man boy sister name?
It ain't is Tanisha.
Damn, is it Tiana?
Tiana.
No, that's the little girl.
Tiana.
It's one of them. I can't remember if Tiana's her name or the little girl name. So Tiana, so she damn put out a hit, $5,000.
Hey, listen, I told you she turned into the real one. Do you hear me? She has turned into the real. Fuck Scully. Scully is out of here. We now know why Scully was always out in the street doing what he was doing, because he had to come home to that. I'd be a menace too if I had to come home to that every night.
Yo,
that made me scared to be home.
Hiring reckless people.
Man,
she's just hiring any girl in the hood. Man, she don't care who they is, man. These other hoes brought the wrong dude.
We got to give her credit though, because that is smart as hell for her to do what she did. Think about that. You're not telling dudes, you telling women that it's a $5,000 bounty on dude's head. He'll never expect, and as we seen it, he'll never expect some chick to come up to him and take him out dead or alive. Like, come on, man.
But at the same time, just hiring anyone, I think it did backfire, because when old girl pulled a gun on him, and smart dude came up, put the gun behind her back, and so she just started saying like, "Yo, my mom, dad strung out on the rock. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no food in the house. I just need money." And Leon's like, yo, put the gun on her, like, yo, if you need something, why not ask?
Right.
And so he put some money in the pocket, and Jerome like, hell no. Jerome snatched that money and like, nah, you give me information and I'll give you the money back, basically.
Right.
So now they know that it's a bounty because this person talked, but this person was desperate. So when you hire somebody that's desperate for money, they going for whoever giving them the money.
That's true, but
see, I think if you hire somebody,
you usually get better results that way too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if a motherfucker desperate, like they said, it's a dead or alive bounty. They ain't gotta necessarily have him alive. If she'd have shot Leon right then and there, everything would have been Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she probably wouldn't have made it out, but you know what I'm saying? They did whatever they had to do, and they would have been good. So I think either way, like I said, that's why I said she made a smart decision to get out there and tell females, yo, it's a $5,000 bounty on dude's head. However, we also got to give some kudos to Jerome, man, because speaking of Leon using his head, Jerome is really starting to come around and starting to use his head a lot more as well. Like the way that he's been handling this whole Leon situation. Franklin has been coming to Jerome and asking him for advice about, you know what I'm saying, dealing with Leon and everything else. And, you know what I'm saying, he told Franklin in the car a couple episodes back, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying, when you got to deal with shit like that, it's different from killing, you know what I'm saying, your enemy. But when you kill a child, man, ain't no coming back from that. And like he said, he's been a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never seen him shook like that. So the fact that, you know, you've been knowing Leon since, you know what I'm saying, knee high. So the fact that he's giving Franklin that kind of advice, like, yo, you know, at the end of the day, this is still your boy. You know what I'm saying? You deal with him like you deal with him. At the end of the day, he family to us. He always been around. So either you go ahead and you know what I'm saying, you turn on your family and make a business decision, or, you know what I'm saying, like they said, you put your feelings into it and you protect your brother. So I think, you know, since Jerome is doing a great job with handling this whole Leon situation too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And I think that Jerome realized that the stakes is higher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with finding out that Reed is involved in this and they are in the CIA's pocket.
Yeah.
So Jerome knows the finish line is a whole lot more difficult than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So all your moves got to be more calculated. Everything has to be smarter because even though they was running things in a smart manner, now it's even more. Now knowing what he knows now, like yo, we can't have any fuck ups.
Right.
So I think that with Jerome using his head the way that he did, because think about it, he could have just been like, all right, this girl got the money, move along. He's like, nah, we need to find out who put this bounty on us and who all has a bounty on them.
Yeah.
So that was quick thinking by Jerome to do that. So, like I said, him and Louis, their relationship is getting rocky. Him and Saint's relationship a little rocky. But it seems like he's gravitating more to Leon because Leon is in the dark. Mm-hmm. Leon don't know about Reed. Remember, they were the only two who didn't know. So now it seems like he's giving Louis and Franklin, you know what I'm saying, you know, not necessarily attitude. Well, he's just being short with him. Yeah. But he's actually having conversations with Leon. So it seems like he's starting to favor him a little more. So then, you know, we get a Wanda sighting. Mm-hmm. You know, before she met with him in the hood, met with Leon in the hood, you know, her and Alton was talking because Alton saw the baby. And I think this is what really cracked Alton. Mm-hmm. I think that when he found that man dead, and he found the crack pipe. Yeah. And I think the combination of the dude dying from the crack and his two kids is going to have to go into the system. I think that is what really got him to tell Irene, but we'll get to him later. This is more about Wanda. So Wanda see what's going on there. And so Wanda's like, okay, let me go to Leon. So Wanda go to Leon. It's like, yo, she was trying to tell him, like, yo, Alton was talking to some Oriental lady that just walked in there talking about, you know what I'm saying, Franklin and what he does. And she was just saying that, yo, like.
Time out real quick. The one thing I didn't like about that scene is after she said Oriental lady, then she said, is that what we're supposed to call him? Is that okay to call him that? Didn't nobody give a goddamn about that in the 80s? That's what they was calling people in the 80s. Let it go. Why would they even add? I didn't even like the fact they add that in there. But go ahead. That was stupid.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there wasn't nobody trying to be politically correct.
Come on, man.
So she's trying to tell him, and but she's also saying like, yo, if I could give you more information, can you put me on because I need money? Mm-hmm. And I think that he's still. I mean, I wouldn't put crack in her hands. Like, no, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I'm pretty sure he could find something else for Wanda to do. Mm-hmm. But I think that because my man showed up, they didn't get to finish that conversation. And see, that could have been the break right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because Franklin could have found out sooner. He could have found out through Leon if Leon would have been able to finish that conversation. Right. So, I don't know, man. Like you were saying that Wanda, you know, could have been the person to break this shit. You were saying it a couple episodes back.
Well, I always I always thought that from that episode where, you know what I'm saying, they showed her from the get-go. I figured she was eventually gonna get clean. You know what I'm saying? They had slight hints in there to kind of give it away. The tooth scene is really what kicked it off, that you knew she was gonna get clean. We didn't know how, but we kind of had a thought that it was gonna happen. And so seeing that and then knowing that, you know what I'm saying, everything that transpired from there, I also said and remember this is that I think her and Leon gonna get back together. And I don't know how that's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen this season, but I think eventually her and Leon are gonna get back together because Leon still got feelings for that girl. She still got feelings for him, but Leon still got feelings for that girl. And like you said, if dude wouldn't have walked up, he was gonna hit her off with some change and tell her, you know what I'm saying, he had something for her later. But I think Wanda is, you know what I'm saying, really the missing piece around all this. I think that her finding out who Franklin's dad is, her going to talk to Leon about it, her even mentioning to Alton that, you know what I'm saying, she ain't know that he was Saint's dad. It's a lot of stuff that she's finding out, and she been in, you know what I'm saying, she getting in these nooks and crannies of the story, and I think she gonna be the one that really saved this whole operation. To move on ahead real quick, because where we kind of going is basically on the same thing. This whole story thing with Alton and Irene, right? Wanda was there, so Wanda kind of seen what she looks like. Wanda knows, you know what I'm saying, she's a reporter. Wanda knows the situation. I think that they're going to eventually have to go to her to find out who this lady is, because now we know that Saint is looking for her. We get to the point to where Alton gets to talking to Irene. He giving her all the information. Like you said, he was gonna be the weak link. You know what I'm saying? He at the bar, which I thought was a funny place for him to be, of course. He ordered his club soda, you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there looking around at the drinks. And it was a dope it was a dope way they set that scene up, because you know, this was really him testing himself in a weird way, right? Like he in a bar being sober and then ordering a club soda, but at the same time, he's not holding back on telling Irene about what's going on with the CIA and Saint and everything else like that. So I thought that was a weird, ironic way for them to run that scene, especially the location of the scene. So, you know what I'm saying? He talking to Irene about everything, trying to make a deal, trying to make sure. And in a way, he was trying to, I guess, do what was best for them, or what he thought was best for them. But it's just, man, you know, he was saying that, or she said that, you know what I'm saying, if you stay on the record, make sure everything you said or whatever, give me all the information I need, you know, we don't bring your family into this. But then my thing is like, eventually they're going to know that you talked to her, right? Eventually they're going to want to know who her source is. She's not going to keep that source quiet forever, because we talking about the CIA. They're going to find out everything. So now, not only did you could have just, everything could have been cool and you could have not said nothing to her, but now, you know, you done brought the CIA on back. Eventually it's going to happen. It might not happen now, but eventually that's something that could happen, because if they get a hold of this, and as we seen at the end, everybody was typing this story up. So if they get a hold of this and they find out what's going on, either they're going to have to go kill her, and then they're going to have to end the situation with y'all, or y'all going to have to go kill her. And now y'all really going to be in debt to the CIA. So I think you just put more weight on the situation.
I feel you. I ain't ready for it yet, though. Yeah. So I'm gonna get that, because I got some shit on all of that situation. But okay. Yo, Reed is starting to fall apart.
You think so?
With the whole situation that happened with his brother and his dad, you know, like I think a little bit, but at the same time, I think Reed is a functional cocaine user. Like Franklin met with Javi after not Javi, what's my man's name?
The agent.
Well, anyway, the shit. I cannot believe I also.
Okay.
Like he met with them to do the drop, and he asked him like, "Yo, like, what's up with Reed? Is he good?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the last time I seen him, he came to the club. He was drunk. He was sniffing like he was doing some cocaine. He was like, you would have to ask him, but he was like, to me, he seems fine.
Yeah.
So Reed is on the airplane with Javi. They're going down to go see what's going on with the money.
Yeah.
So, and Javi's telling Reed, like, yo, like this ain't a good coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're dealing with, basically it's still gonna be there even though you sniffing this shit.
Right.
So Javi go to tell him about, I don't know if it was the CIA who Javi was dealing with, but he told him a little story about something that he was involved in.
Now Javi was dealing with like the KGB, the Mossad. He was dealing with who else was it? It was the KGB, the Mossad. I think the Iranians and somebody else.
Well, the thing is, it seemed like Javi was basically in a way, what Reed was. But Javi ended up going in that different route because he said they asked him, would you rather walk out or basically get, tossed out or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So Javi took the route of basically doing what he's doing now. We don't know if Javi is still like an informant type of person who's still like protected. You know what I mean? So Reed, I think when he told Reed that story, Reed didn't know this about Javi. So I think that got Reed thinking like, well, shit, is the CIA gonna turn on me? Type of shit. So they go down to the bank, talk to the lady, and the lady's trying to give Reed this, and I didn't believe this story at all about how it was a employee stole $15 million.
Yeah.
And they just gave him the money back.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, and you won't give him any information. Like, the shit makes no sense at all. So we find out who the person was with the pajamas on. It was an employee with the bank. But I think that employee did know something. I think he knows. This is my question to you. After he did the whole little drowning thing with the white towel, he talked. And the look on Reed's face, what do you think he told him?
Well, from that scene, right, the way Javi came in with old girl, the police knew exactly where they were. Police knew exactly who to go to. Javi must have said something, so I'm assuming Javi got something to do with it, or he knows who has something to do with it. That's what I assume it is. I don't necessarily think that could possibly, because Snowfall throws so many curveballs at you, man. You think that it's one way and it's not. So, but I think Javi has something to do with it. From the time that Reed and Gustavo went to talk to Javi the first time, and he was like, "Yo, they said that they made the drop, but it wasn't nothing, and then the money was gone." It seemed like Javi tried to pull a fast one. What I think, though, is Javi didn't really know who he was really dealing with. And so, like I said, man, I told you, I think that Reed is like John Wick. We don't know how how into it this dude really is. We seen when he went up into, the last, what was the sheriff or the
sheriff.
Yeah, when he went up to the sheriff's house and they tore dude apart, him and Gustavo went in there. We seen, Reed getting his John Wick on. And then this one, he just went in, found dude out of nowhere and just started waterboarding him. It's like, yo, this dude is something else about this dude. And from that, you really start to see just, how deep into it that, that Reed is. But I think Javi had something to do with it, bro. I don't know exactly what, but the way he looked when he came in and he kind of seen everything that went on. He knew that, you know what I'm saying, Reed went out the window. He kind of, you know what I'm saying, scoped the scene and peeped what was going on. And I think that he's starting to realize, like, he might be messing with the wrong guy.
I see that point, and I agree with you, but I also want to play just a little devil's advocate here for the sake of the podcast. I think it's a little bit of hobby, but I think it's the CIA.
Oh,
I think the CIA might have been involved in it, but I think it's, like I said, hobby's being protected by somebody, and it's not Reed.
True.
And I think that Javi knows what's going on, and he told the bank lady to tell them, you know, to give this whole little fucking bullshit story. But I think that the CIA might have took that money, and I don't know if it's like something to try to fuck Reed up, if it's like a you know, like one of those situations where there's like a tall tale. Like I think that story that Javi told him, I think that he's starting to see that it may be happening to him now. I think that's what that dude told him. Yeah, is that, you know, basically, you know, your CIA told me to remove this money, type of thing. And Javi knows who did it, and he sees that Reed is like, oh shit. So I think that, like I said, Reed is a functional cocaine user. I think that I think he can stay clear-headed to be able to do the job that he's doing while doing that. But like, I think he's just really using it to keep his brother and his dad off his mind. I don't think it's affecting his work. Cause like you said, he's like John Wick with this shit. Yeah. But there's some other shit. He's just not no smart CIA agent.
There's no way he's a desk pusher at all. There's no way. This motherfucker got to be decorated in some sort of way.
Oh yeah, and I think that we're gonna see that in season 5.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be this season.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be this one. I think it's gonna be season 5. We'll be really gonna see and find out really who Reed Thompson is, or Teddy McDonald, whatever you want to call this motherfucker. So then, okay, so what else we get? We get you know, Man Boy had the argument with his sister, trying to tell her, let me do this shit my way. And she's like, yo, y'all, she's like, y'all fucking up. Y'all taking too long. I told you I was wanting this. You know, I'm thinking about my daughter while I'm doing this. And then he's like, yo, you can't just be hiring anybody. You know, he was like, this shit got to be done in a calculated type of way. And she's like, well, look, I mean, the hit is out, so you might want to move a little quicker to tell these motherfuckers to stop. Yeah. So Man Boy, I think Man Boy knows that the way that she's doing it is going to definitely track back to them. Because the thing is, the bounty isn't just on Leon.
It's on everybody.
She put a bounty on all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Man Boy now like, fuck, now these dudes gonna start coming for me now, in a way that I don't know, because now it's a situation where everybody's looking over their back.
Well,
and then to take
Franklin, you got it. Franklin, right? Franklin and Man Boy had that conversation, and remember, Man Boy always said, "Yo, I respect you because you keep everything business and you always thinking." So I think that somewhere in the back of his mind, he knows what Franklin is capable of. And on top of that, he don't even know who Franklin's plug is. They still trying to figure out who Franklin's plug is. Remember, they was getting followed. So they still trying to figure out who supplied Franklin. Now, on top of Man Boy trying to get the plug, and then on top of him trying to deal with the situation with his niece, his sister, even though what she did, like I said, was very smart, at the same time, it was very dumb, because now you causing a hectic scene. Now you making it known that we looking for them. So now we're not going to be able to follow them a lot. We're not going to be able to catch them when we can usually catch them. We're not going to be able to do the things that we was able to usually do and move how we usually move because now they know that it's hot out here in the streets. So this could not only get Manboy killed, but with the situation that Scully's in right now, in the situation with Manboy's sister, her being out here doing what she's already did, and they know who killed her, who killed Fatback now. This could possibly get all of them cut out.
Yep.
This might be the biggest disadvantage that Scully and Manboy got.
True. And then I think that this wasn't a smart thing for Louis to do. When Franklin, Leon, and Jerome went back and told her about the hit, she's like, man, following around y'all, behind y'all gonna get us killed. Like, it's like, hold up. Why you acting like you the only one that have good fucking ideas and decisions around this motherfucker?
That's only with Jerome, though.
So it's like I'm sitting there and I'm watching that scene and I'm like, the fuck? Like, who is you? You know what I mean? Like, I never thought that. Look, this Little Rock shit. I'm telling you, dude, I don't like it. I don't like it. And that was her fucking idea.
I do, and I tell you why.
I don't know.
I do, and I tell you why. Louis is okay. This is probably a better this is probably a better analogy, right? Sissy is the angel on Franklin's shoulder. Louis is the devil on Franklin's shoulder. So them two are really keeping him in a space that he needs to be. So Sissy is basically the one that's making sure everything is in order, making sure everything go right, making sure all of this shit is, at the end of the day, they got something to fall back on, right? Louis is the one that's making sure Franklin can roam these streets the way he needs to roam them. And Jerome, even though he's going through his situation with Louis right now, I think that Louis is, in a weird way, Franklin's right-hand man. Like, that's the one that he knows when it's all said and done and it really come down to it, she gonna have his back. She gonna be the one that's gonna be right beside him at all times. She's gonna be the one that when anything come, he gonna come talk to her 9 times out of 10. He reassured her, like, you know what I'm saying? He told her, like, yo, I moved the bricks out. I told you I was gonna do that. Everything is done. I just need you to keep calm and keep the plan going. And I think that right now she's just a little heated because the situation with her and Jerome, her finding out that, you know what I'm saying, that she got a bounty on her head now. I mean, anybody that take that calmly is a fucking psychopath. And then not only that, she just had to deal with telling Jerome about the secret that Franklin told her to keep. So she got a lot on her plate. And her having to hear that somebody is out here trying to kill her, and now she got to watch her back, that can get to her. So I'm not really necessarily looking at that like it's something different. I don't think that anybody took that out of character or took that to heart when she said what she said.
That was a great fucking point. Great point. See, I told you I'd be better. So, Sissy, right? So she's sitting there doing paperwork. Franklin comes in and she's like, yo, I had a long meeting with Paul Davis.
Yes, sir.
And he gave us 2 commercial properties.
Yes, sir.
And it was the idea that Franklin had was like, yo, just basically give him that church, basically.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to see, you know what I'm saying, the reward from doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, he gave him the church to basically, I'm going to see what y'all do with this. And then if this goes the way I want it to go, then I'm really going to give you something. And he does with these 2 properties. So they're very happy about that. And this is really the move that they wanted to make from the very rip.
Yeah.
So now let's get into the shits.
Oh,
But let's start light though.
Okay.
So Alton is sitting there telling Sissy about the situation. The man died. These two kids, is going to go into the system, and so he's really broken up about it.
Yeah.
And so Sissy like, is there anything we can do?
Right.
He goes back to, we got to get out of this. We got to get out of this game. And then she was like, well, I told you 2 years. And he was like, if you believe that, you drinking the Kool-Aid. Right. So Sissy's like, yo, I'm not leaving without Franklin. Like, you talk to Franklin, you convince Franklin, and then we'll go from there. And so Sissy's just like, yo, I don't want to hear no more of this shit. She walks up, and I think Alton was going to bring that up about Irene. Yeah. But, Sissy walked off before, it could happen. So that right there might have been another, like, tail sign of him, like, so my man died from an overdose at the thing. You know what I'm saying? He got to tell the teenage kid, yo, you got to go either find a family member or go into the system. You know what I'm saying? He got to, he goes to Sissy, try to have a conversation with her. She don't want to have the conversation.
Right.
And so he has all of this shit going through his mind. And this is another thing. Alton don't have anybody but Sissy really to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he don't like Alton don't have any friends really. I mean, the people that he worked with, but I don't think he looks at them like he can't vent to them about what's going on. Because anytime when you're in this business, there's you really got a tight knit group. You can't just go around and just talk business with people that don't know what you do because it's a secret. Right. So I think that was another thing where he was just like, yo, I think he thought by calling Irene, I honestly think that he thought it was the best thing to do. But I don't think he thought it all the way through because Alton was playing checkers. He wasn't playing chess.
Right.
Alton didn't understand within telling the story, even if you tell them to omit my son's name, they're still dealing with a CIA agent that you just threw under the bus. You just threw a CIA
whole agency.
Yeah. And so how do you think Reed is going to take this?
Exactly.
Reed could take out the whole fucking family. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Alton thought it all the way through. I think he is trying to protect his family, but within our honesty, he did the absolute worst thing for his family.
I 100% agree with you, man. I think that with him telling this story, like I said earlier, man, this is really a possibility that you either put your family further in the hole or you putting your family in a hole, right? Like, so either the CIA is going to come kill you, like you said, or now you got to go make sure Irene is gone off the face of the earth. So, I mean, now you got to get your hands dirty. And we seen how Franklin responded because it was like, yo, he let him know, like, yo, you don't know what the hell you just did. Like, you wasn't thinking. And the thing that I like about, once again, I bring this up once more, I love about Franklin's character is he's very cerebral. He always uses his brain. We seen from the first season how smart of a kid he was. So to then turn around and him be able to use his brain in this situation is a perfect way for him to be who he is. I'm not gonna lie, man. When he stole on Alton, bro, I was so happy. I was like, yo, he deserved all of that, man. For him to leave the family the way he did, And then for Franklin to accept him back after, you know what I'm saying, he basically left Sissy and Franklin to fend for themselves. And then to put him in a situation where not only are you going to be, you know what I'm saying, good, are you getting sober, you can actually go out there and help other people be sober. For Alton to even have the audacity to do what he did is like, it's blasphemous, man. Like, why would you put not just yourself, but your family, your son in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Even though it may not seem like that they're making a difference, and even though it may be hurting the community, at the same time, you have to look at it like nobody knew that this would happen. Nobody had any idea that this would be the situation, right? Only thing that they knew was that this is an opportunity to put them in a better place, to give them some money, to be able to provide. Like Franklin's whole thing is, I want us to be able to start creating Black business. I want us to be able to put our people in a better situation. He using the same tactic, well, not the same tactics, but he has the same mindset in a weird, twisted kind of way that Alton had when Alton was a Panther. So for him to be out here and really actually having his mom put in the work to, you know what I'm saying, create affordable housing, to be able to create businesses where Black people could come work. It's like a double-edged sword, right? Like, so, and I don't think they necessarily, well, I think they know now, but I don't think they necessarily knew that in the beginning. Like, so at first it was, yo, let's create these opportunities for our people. But now they're starting to find out that the other side of that sword is actually kind of hurting the people as well. And they starting to see that. They right there at ground zero. So they know what it looks like. I think you brought up the Arkansas thing real quick. I think Arkansas is going to work. I don't think that it's going to be as bad as people are making it out to be, because I've seen some theories and everything else like that, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as people are making it out to be. I think that with Louis and Jerome going down there, they know the ramifications of what could happen. They know exactly how everything is going to play out. They were there from the beginning. So I think that with Louis going down there and talking and doing everything else, I think it's better for her to go down there and Jerome to go down there to really give them the business. I mean, I know Louis kind of lied in the last episode about it, but Jerome is the one that's really going to be the one to break everything down and really give them the truth about it. So, I mean, I think Arkansas is a great move, and I think that in a weird way, that might be where they end up with this whole situation right now.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to the double blade sword. Okay. But so Irene invite the ex over. You know what I'm saying? She want to do a toast because she's excited, she's happy. And my man's like, yo, I gotta be somewhere in the morning. And she was like, you know, thank you for the enthusiasm. And it's like, I don't know why she expected for him to be happy for her because she got the story, the big break that she wants. Because he's looking at it like, yo, this is the reason why we split in the first place. It's like all you care about is your work. You didn't care about me. You didn't care about your daughter. But then you want me to turn around and be happy because you finally got the story that you wanted. And and then we're starting to see that this is another reason why I think that she don't mind doing the story, you know, quote unquote, without the Saints, is because she's been going after the government from the very fucking beginning anyway, because of what they did to her family. Yeah. And so this is deeper than that. So now we're starting to see like, damn, this is why Irene was so fucking dedicated to her work, because she felt that the government did her family wrong. But what she's not also thinking, and my man thought about it, he's like, yo, you call the government out, that shit could put all of us in fucking danger. And
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did that, because he made the most sense out of anybody in this show or anybody in this episode. He made the most sense for him to tell her, "Hey, listen, I understand you got a vendetta against these people, but what you're not realizing is they don't care if we separated. They don't care if your daughter is on the east side of the country. They can touch any of us at any time. And you know what? they didn't say anything about it and they didn't mention this, but I think he used to be like ex-military or something. Her ex-husband, because the way he responded when she said that, like it's something that he knows that they haven't revealed yet or they haven't talked about yet. If they do talk about it, but I think he knows a lot more about the government than what we do. Like he might even himself be an ex-Panther or somebody that was in the military or something like that. Because that was the way he responded was telling.
I think he's ex-Army or Marine or something. Probably Army, because I don't think it had to be World War II. It couldn't have been Vietnam War because Vietnam War was just about done and he's older. So I think that he might be a World War II vet, and I think they fucked him over.
Yeah,
I think
they older, ain't they? They got to be like around maybe 40, 50 around this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this is the 80s. So
and I'm thinking, and I'm glad you said that because I'm thinking that when she said the way they did my family, maybe she is Japanese, and they saying that when World War II happened, they was putting Japanese in the internment camps. So maybe she, is talking about that situation.
Yeah, because remember she said how they done me wrong and you wrong, and she said your people. So I think that's why I think you said it first, so I give you the credit. I think he is ex Army or whatnot, and she's not understanding the significance of what she's doing. Like, we separated, but like we're still connected to you. We always are going to be connected.
Right.
So they can use me or our daughter to hurt you
easily.
So easy. And then he said, don't sit there and act like we don't care about what happens to you. Whether they're together or not, at the end of the day, like I got a daughter with you. So I'm gonna have to explain to our daughter, you know how your mother basically abandoned you for her work. Now her work got her dead.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like she's not thinking about that. All she's thinking about is getting the story out. And now it's starting to feel like now I honestly don't think it's I used to think before this episode that it was all about her advancing her career. Now now it's starting to look like it's personal. And I don't think it's her career. I think that she really wants to expose the government. And I don't think it's for advancing her career now. I used to think that it was she just want a great story, so she might be like the top editor or whatever. Right. Now I'm starting to think it's more of a personal thing, and it's not necessarily just being the big, like when my girl had the editor position, and then she was like, "Oh man, now I got to work for another white man."
Yep.
I don't think she wants that position. Yeah. I think she really wants to expose the government. So I'm not saying that it makes me like her anymore. Right. I'm just saying that it just changes my opinion on her motives. Let's put it that way.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that with everything that they brung up in that conversation, I think that she, like you said, she got a vendetta and she's doing whatever it takes to get back at them. And her losing her family is obviously something that she took it hard, but I think that her losing them has made her go even harder at work. And that's just, she probably using that as fuel and probably blaming the government for that as well. So it's just her character is so conflicted with so many different things. And then I think her taking that stance about, I got to work for another white man again after the lady had got fired. I think she was cool working up under the lady. It wasn't an issue. I think that she's one of those people, like she's into this whole feminist thing and, getting into, the equality thing and really trying to make sure that she's, being this strong woman who's the forefront of bringing down the government and all this other stuff. But not only that, like you said, also getting this position to where, she felt like she might deserve this.
True. Now to get back to this double blade sword.
Right.
Now, when that's why I've always had like a let me see, not necessarily a opportunist like type of way of thinking, but like it's more of like I think the term product of my environment.
Right.
I think that's exactly what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if it's not the Saints, it's just going to be another family.
Mm-hmm.
The government has an agenda that was like, yo, we fund this war. The best way to fund this war is basically to do genocide to the black community. We're going to, you know what I'm saying, sell these guns, and we're going to bring in this drug to boost to boost the economy and all this type shit, but we can drag them down at the same time, right? So, so product of my environment, the way I look at it is like, yo, somebody's going to profit from this. So it's like, so when I look at, you know, Franklin Saint or even real people like, you know, Freeway Ricky Walls, you know what I'm saying, Cornell Jones, Melvin Williams, all of these people, like they was just the hand picked like geniuses that probably could have done anything, but they was a product of their environment.
Right.
And like you said, even though Franklin's main objective is to get affordable housing, to boost black businesses, you know what I'm saying? I hate to keep saying this because I feel like I've said it every episode. The cost of doing business. This is unfortunately the cost of doing business. You're helping black people, but at the same time, you're damaging black people at the same time. So it's tough because it's like you sit back, like you have to put yourself in this position in the 80s. You live in these neighborhoods, like, you know what I'm saying, Detroit, LA, New York. Like when you was living in these neighborhoods at the time, you know what I'm saying, it's like a dog eat dog type of situation. And it's like, do you want to stand on the sidelines and watch somebody else get rich, or do you want to jump into the game and try to put yourself in a better situation? So that's why I've always like looked at like the drug game the way that I've always looked at it, even though I would be, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm standing on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though. I get the thinking. And I get what Alton was trying to say. And Alton, he's not wrong at what he's saying. But he don't understand what you've done. This is bigger than just us. Like, you have to understand, like, dude, you just told a reporter about what the government is doing, and the government got, dude, they got me out. And he sat there and said it, like, yo, he said, when he put that gut, dude, I gotta give them motherfuckers credit, boy. This felt like a real argument, boy. Like, for real. Like, man, I was like, dude, I was that was great fucking acting. He was like, I was standing up.
I said, about to get real.
No, he said, this motherfucker said, hold on, no, you gonna shoot me? I was like, oh my God. I was like, boy, this shit done got real, bud.
You gonna shoot me like you did, what's his name, Andre? Or whatever, was his name Andre?
Andre.
He said, you gonna shoot me like you did Andre?
Yeah, Andre.
I was like, oh, shit.
And see, with this saying that, right? Think about it. Franklin went to jail.
Yeah.
Let's not forget. I think it was season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Franklin went to jail. And then all of a sudden, he gets out. No charges, no nothing.
On a murder rap.
Alton, even within that moment, Alton didn't understand. Your son got off on a murder rap. So that means the government could do whatever the fuck they want to do. And he's not seeing that. He thinks that this story is going to omit this whole family. No, dude. That's not how this shit works. And see, like I'm saying, he's thinking, but he's not thinking it. Like I said, he's thinking in a chess. In a checkers type of way. He's not thinking chess.
Yep.
And yeah, so it's Alton, man. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, man. I should have stayed with my thought, and I should have stood behind myself, and I said that he was the weakest link. He is absolutely the weakest link in this whole thing, man. And the whole team that's together, he's the weakest link, man.
Yeah, man. My final thoughts on it, man, is I didn't stick around. I went back to my normal ways. I didn't stick around and watch the preview, so I'm gonna leave the preview part to you. But I think that with Alton leaving, you know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna go back into drinking. I think he's gonna break that sobriety, and I think that them having that sobriety party was very telling as well. Like, for him to have that sobriety party in that episode, and then for him to do what he did, like even when he walked into the house, he looked right in the mirror at himself like, damn, you done fucked up. So I think that he's going to go back to drinking. I think he's going to break his sobriety. I think this is going to. I don't think it's really going to cause a issue with Sissy and Franklin, but I think it's going to be like a little small rift between Sissy and Franklin. They're going to have a couple issues here and there, but I think for the most part, Sissy, like she said, she down for her son as always, and she definitely going to let him know, regardless of what happens, I got your back. But I think you need to make sure you clear it up with your dad. And I think that this is going to be the huge explosion that breaks down everything Irene is trying to do. I think that she's going to lose her contact with Alton, and I think now she's going to have to do some shit that she, tried to act like she didn't want to do as far as bringing the Saints into it. But I feel like her bringing the Saints into it is really going to it's going to get her killed, and I can't wait.
Well, I'll say this. When during the whole argument, he said she.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, so it's a she. So tell me who she is. Franklin like, yo, tell me who she is. So a couple of episodes back, you had an idea of Mel and Wanda being like the two people who was going to break this shit open.
Yeah.
I see your vision now.
Okay.
I think that even though they didn't show Mel in the previews, I think that Mel is going to pop back up in the hood. She's going to see Wanda. They're going to talk. Oriental lady. Oh, you saw Oriental lady too? And I think that now with the previews, Franklin finally talked to Reed, told Reed about what's going on, and Reed told him, yo, you need to put a muzzle on your dad.
Yep.
And I don't know if this was the whole conversation, but there was, you hear Franklin's voice saying, I don't think threats is going to help anything right now. And I think that what's going to end up happening is Wanda and Mel are going to go to Franklin and Leon. And even though Franklin haven't seen this girl in a while, he's going to hear her out, and she's going to tell him, yo, this Oriental lady came and seen me. She left me her card. And I think that she's going to give Franklin that fucking card. And Franklin's going to know who the hell Irene is. And I think that they're going to fucking... Dude, Irene is out of here, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I cannot wait.
I'm telling you, man. Irene is... Because I don't think that they're going to. What's the point of showing her?
Yeah.
For one episode and never show her again.
Exactly.
So and then Wanda saw her. So the two girls that was rocking with the two main characters see this Oriental lady and they haven't seen her yet.
Exactly.
So I think that they are going to be the ones to end up telling them who this lady is. I think that Mel is going to still have the card and she's going to give it to Franklin, and then that's going to be the shit to get Irene up out of here. But as far as like the previews, though, I mean, all they really showed was Reed and Franklin talking. Alton did try to go talk to Sissy and said that he needed to talk to her, and she said, "You had a chance to talk to me, and you went to a reporter."
Yeah,
and like really, that's all they really showed, really. Okay. But the only other things that I have is the fact of, I mean, I said it earlier. I think that the information that guy gave Reed, I think is going to come out next episode, and I think something's just telling me that Reed knows that his days are numbered with the CIA. I think that the CIA is going to end up throwing him under the bus. I don't think that they're going to allow these guys, because I think that the CIA looked at these people that they threw undercover like that as expendable assets.
Yeah,
I don't think they looked at them as people who was, I think that they looked at them as smart enough to be able to do this, but I think that also they looked at them as expendable. And it's like, yo, like, we don't need you anymore.
Right.
So that's my thing. I think that whole little thing is the information that he got from dude is like something that I don't think the CIA want him to know. And I think Reed is going to I think he's planning ahead now. You remember how I used to say, like, Reed is going to have to, like, when this whole thing is over, like, he's, like, stacking up money so he can, like, disappear. I think now he's actually looking at it like, yo, I got to look at an exit strategy. Mm-hmm. I think that this is real now. I think he's really looking for an exit strategy because I don't think that he believes that when this whole war is over, that they just gonna throw him on the desk and everything is gonna be kosher.
Okay. Man, it's season 4, episode 8, next Friday, man. Y'all know where to be, y'all know where to listen to, so get ready. But next Tuesday we got something for y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be full of laughs. We gonna
Monday.
Okay, well, I was gonna release it Tuesday.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I was just gonna go ahead and release it Tuesday. So, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a whole bunch of laughs for y'all. So, because I figure we go ahead and stay on schedule. You know what I'm saying? Usually whenever we change it up, we try to do it. And since I got my equipment back finally, you know what I'm saying? I think that we'll be able to keep it, you know what I'm saying, on schedule as much as possible. So, Tuesday episode will be out. You can always watch the live, of course, and then you'll also be able to watch. You'll be able to listen to us as well, of course. So we got another movie coming for y'all. This one is going to be full of laughs. To me, this is probably one of the funniest movies I've seen ever in my life, and this movie is classic. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, and a lot of people don't know, even Scotty doesn't know, that, you know what I'm saying?
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my band on Sundays.
I couldn't find nothing for it. I'll try to use Scotty doesn't know. If you know what we talking about, I'm gonna just use that. If you know why Scotty doesn't know, then you'll know what we talking about. But if not, be here Tuesday, man, and you'll find out why Scotty doesn't know. And why that was such a hit. This movie is so funny, bro. When this movie came out, I remember when ringtones dropped, and my brother found that one he found the ringtone when when he came up on the thing. It was like, "Mail, motherfucker." That was his ringtone.
Yeah.
Anytime a text came through. So yeah, this movie is awesome, man. So be here Tuesday.
Man.
We'll be ready for you. Can't wait, man. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and I got a story. No, I'm not gonna do it on here. I'm gonna do it on the episode. Okay. Now I've told this story before, and if anybody want to go back, man, look, you gotta go. I think you gotta go all the way back to episode 29, I believe, of the Stolen Time podcast. I told a story about it's going to go along with the movie because there's a character that's from a place in the movie, and I had a situation with someone that was from that place, and it's gonna be look. This next episode is gonna be a great one. It's gonna be funny, and I got a fucking funny story to tell to go along with that episode. Yeah, this is going to be fucking hilarious. And I don't think that a lot of people, the reason I felt comfortable singing that song is because this is like one of those movies that I felt was underrated. And then there was another movie that has a similar name to that movie. And I think that people gravitated to the other movie that had a similar name than this movie. So that's why I felt comfortable saying that. But like, yeah, I got a story to tell, man, on the next one. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny.
Be a good one. So,
you heard the story. I've actually told the story to you before on I think the Already Home podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell it on this one, man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun on this. Man, listen. This movie is one of those movies that if you don't laugh at this, I don't know what to tell you. You don't got no funny bones in your body because this was all out hilarious. I gotta go back and watch it now because now I'm thinking to the point to where I forgot what the safe word was. All that like the safe word was in German. He was like, I don't know what this. Never mind, bro. Never mind. That shit was too funny, bro. I can't wait to watch this shit again. I can't wait to watch this shit again, man. But anyway, you guys can follow me on Twitter, man, at Scoots Bronson. You can follow me on Instagram at Scoots Bronson _TV. You can also follow us on YouTube if you're not watching already at Scoots Bronson TV. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. And then if you can't watch it on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, we always release it the day after. Make sure you go ahead on all major podcast platforms. Go ahead and subscribe to the Viewers Anonymous podcast. It's everywhere possible, so feel free to subscribe. Make sure you, if you're listening on Apple, rate and leave us a comment. We would love that. And real quick, thank you guys because you guys have been supporting and the support is showing. Oh my goodness, man. You guys are listening and y'all listening heavy. We mess with y'all. Hit us up on the socials, man. If you mess with us, let us know who you are. But if you want to, get to us directly and get in the community, make sure you go to Facebook and join the Viewers Anonymous podcast watch group. We growing slowly but surely. We getting a lot more members. And this is where everything for the podcast will be, as far as the YouTube link, as far as the other podcast links. Anything that we do outside of that, we also add in the Viewers Anonymous podcast watch group. You'll be able to tell us what movies you want to hear. Once we get to a certain amount of members, we're going to start doing watch parties. We'll do some polls and stuff to see what kind of movies you guys want to hear from, you know what I'm saying, later on. So make sure, man, you guys, you know what I'm saying, hit us up, join in, and, become a member of the group, man. You know what I'm saying? Come join into the Viewers Anonymous community, man. Yeah, that's all I got, bro.
All right, man. like I said earlier, you joined me on the last Stolen Time podcast. So go check out episode 206 on the Stolen Time podcast. We went over a lot of sports and 2 extra stories that we threw in there. You can find it on all major platforms. Like I say, I prefer you not to try to find it on Apple. Still having problems with that, but you can find it. If you want the visuals of the podcast, you can go to the Stolen Time Podcast Network on YouTube. You can go to the 28 Minutes or Less podcast. That's on all major platforms. You can follow me at s.foster8 on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the Stolen Time Pod on Instagram and Stolen Time Podcast on Facebook. That's all I got today, man.
For sure, man, for sure. So, like I said, man, see you guys next Tuesday. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all stay safe, enjoy y'all weekend. Thank you guys for the continued support. We definitely appreciate it. And like they say in Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Yeah, appreciate all y'all support. For real.